now we're live. We're really back this time. Where have these been? Well, that's a good question, everybody, but we're back, so let's just move on with our lives and eyes forward. You can take that philosophically or not, spiritually or not, but for now, welcome back. We're here with laying it down with Big D. I, of course, am your host, Big D. The cat's already in my way, so come on, Momo, get a move on it.
Momo's ready. Momo's ready, man.
He is. And today I'm joined by North American LAN Counter-Strike legend, Matusovskiy. Did I fuck that up?
There's just no K. It's Matt Matusovskiy. Sorry, it's like 11 letters.
Tiski, you guys know him as Tiski though, down at LAN and on North American Counter-Strike. How are we doing today, Tiski?
Dude, immaculate. I got a good night's rest, woke up, did stuff in the morning. Now I'm talking to the man himself. Like, how can I be upset?
My God, that's such a kind thing to say. Well, I feel like I'm talking to the man himself because, good Lord, you were, I just met you I didn't see you at Vegas, or were you at Frag 18?
I wasn't. I was at Vegas. We did.
You were at Vegas?
But we had we had the biggest upset group ever. We got out of the group 4-0, even though we were third seed. And then our first match was against Tummy Ache Sharks. So that didn't go too hot.
Who were they?
So Sharks were the organization that came from South America, and there was this drama.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So
I thought that was like the name of a mixed team was Tummy Ache Sharks.
No.
I get what you're saying now.
It was really funny. We were actually 9-9 on both maps. We could have really won it, honestly. They had one guy who was like insane, can't even say anything. But at one point on the first map, they had 2 timeouts left, and their coach takes back-to-back timeouts, and we see them, and he just starts screaming at them for a minute straight. No comms, no strats, nothing. Literally just screaming, probably saying, "We flew in from South America, gonna lose first round of playoffs. What are you doing?" Because we were just a random pug stack. It wasn't my team. It was literally just like me, Aero J, Destro, Zen, and Sleep Zork. It was just the most random pug stack.
Anyways, I did meet you in Vegas then.
Yes, dude. We saw for like a millisecond.
Yeah, I saw you for a millisecond. I was mostly talking to Sean there because I had met Sean at Frag 18 and I was yapping with him. But then I saw you at Frag 19, and my God, were you as loud and rowdy in Vegas as you were at Frag 19? How am I forgetting, man?
When we played Supernova, they were actually sitting right across from us, and I love them, by the way. The Supernova people are so nice, genuinely great people.
Yes.
And I did honestly feel bad after the matter. They did still make it through because they played like the lower bracket, all that stuff, right? But they're right in front of me. How am I not going to yell? I literally, what I did on Vegas is I pulled up people's HLTVs, looked at their stats, their names, all those things. So like we were playing, I forget who, and they had like a 0.81 HLTV rating, and they were like, I don't remember, like 8 and 10. And it was like, you're almost outdoing your HLTV. Let's go. We were winning like 9-1. It was so bad. So I felt so bad in Vegas, but yeah, it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere.
I think it's important to talk your shit during the LAN experience. I am somebody who before I went to LAN for years and years, decades even, was on a crusade of, we've got to be nicer to each other in these games and stop the toxicity and let it be spoken in the game or whatever. And then I went to LAN and I heard what it is, and it is a literal war cry from one team, and as long as it's banter, it's good, right? Like there's a difference in getting personal and pulling up your stats from HLTV. You could argue maybe getting personal, but it's still about the game.
It's still the game. That's the whole point.
It's still about the game, and it's public knowledge.
The main thing that I tell people, I went to oh my God. Okay, so there was one LAN that I went to, which production was unreal, amazing, especially for a college LAN. It was a collegiate LAN. It was in Syracuse University. And we were on stage. We had the stage match, and they were like, you can't curse. Well, I'm like, obviously, right? College stuff, get it. But I'm like, I could still like shit talk, right? And they're like, yes. So at one point, we're playing a team that's actually supposed to win the whole event, and we came in as like dark horse. Nobody knows who we are. We don't really have like a set team, so we just pulled the 5 best players from Rutgers, which was stupid. It was like it was me. It was a guy named Easty who's 3K Elo right now. It was Doug who plays on Team Factor, who's on in Maine right now, and then I'm trying to think who else. Oh, then we had Hybrid who subs from our main team, and then Fun Umbra who does it. Anyways, not important. And we're playing against this team that is like a full advanced stack, basically. And at one point, they call a timeout and they lose the round. And I yell, "Hey guys, could you do that one more time? Take the timeout and then make a really horrible play. That would be awesome." And then the admin walks up to me. He's like, "You can't do that." I'm like, "What? Like, what can I say? Like, nice shot? Like, I don't know." Yeah, at that point, like, I didn't say curse words. I didn't say anything personal. I said, "You made a bad play." And the admin came up and gave me a little slap on the wrist. So I was right after that. But in other lands, it's part of the game. Like, but that's the important thing. That's the important thing. People have to understand that it's part of the game. The second the game's over, it's GG's. That was a sick map. This was a cool shot. All that stuff. There was actually a really good example of that we were playing Rowan, the most recent one, and I had a match against Melanin's team. I don't remember who was on it at the time, but Melanin was on it. The entire time I was hammering into Melanin. I was screaming. I was like, "You're so quiet now, blah, blah." The match ends. We're still screaming at each other. He gets up. I get up. Within a millisecond, instant shift. Like, "Yo, GG, that was sick," right? Dab each other up, pat on the back, that kind of stuff. Like, it's part of the game. People just have to understand that it is part of the game and nothing else.
It is. That's I mean, everybody's like put into these like pressure cooker situations at LAN where like these super intense rounds are happening and then somebody wins, and like I view that like chirping business as like I said, a war cry. Like you're just like no different than in martial arts where you let out your keys and yelps and as your because that's a release of energy and power. It's like the same thing to me. Like, and
And
as long as it's not being nasty to somebody
yeah,
because of something they can't control, then fucking let it rip, baby. That's
that
what I say.
when the last tap that happened, Frag Tap 2, we had a match against Timberman, which was at the time like
Oh boy.
Snav, Dare, News, Consti, and I don't remember who the fifth was. Um, Long story short, that one definitely got personal. Because, okay, you want to hear? I'm gonna spend about 2 minutes to tell the story because this one's funny. Um, we're playing them. Obviously, we're set to lose against them because they made the finals, all that stuff, right? Um, but we versed them on Ancient or something, and obviously I'm chirping, right? Snab gets mad, starts just typing like borderline slurs in chat, and I'm sitting like right in front of him, and I turn around, I'm like, "Buddy, say something! Like you're on land, say something." Afterwards, I forgot what it was. I Dare said something about me being like a skinny like twink, I think. I don't remember. And then at that point, I was like, "Okay, it got personal. It's time." So the rest of the game, I started making fun of his hairline the whole game. And then he comes up to me after the match. All right, we got camera for this exact purpose. Grabs me by the shoulders and goes, "You're talking to me about hairlines with your stupid fucking middle part?" I'm like, "No way." There's no, I'm this pissed off. It's crazy. And now every single land that I see him, he walks by. He's like, "I remember you," and I just say like something goofy as hell, and everyone around laughs. He's like, "That's not funny." Just gets like really, really pissed. Um, but after that exact game, I had people walking up to me and they're like, "Tiski, you're my hero, dude." Like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "No one else wants to shit talk him. They're too scared." I'm like, "I don't care. That's me, man. I say it." And then since that point now, I think I'm blocked by Snav and Dare and Consti on every single social media platform everywhere.
Man, love him or hate him, he's out here doing it. Jesus,
Yeah.
that's wild. Well, yeah, and those are some names that come up sometimes on the show in the past as
Mm,
you know, I'd love to have them on the show as well to hear
for
their
sure.
story about Counter-Strike. You know, it's all we all love the same thing, but those are some names that do pop up on here as
To clear one
Well,
of their names, Snav has had like a whole turnaround from my perspective, at least. I don't know how he is with others, but like out of nowhere, crazy nice to me, like always saying hi, like all those types of things. So all love,
yeah,
all love.
dude. Yeah. I think that people are trying to turn around images, and like I've said before, I go to these lands, and you get wrapped up in the image of like it's easy when you're talking to somebody online and
Yeah,
like creating this image in your head, and then you see them at land, and especially for me and like my age, I see that everybody's like a young kid in their like early 20s or like late teens or whatever,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like, you are still like making mistakes and figuring it out, and like that's what this is all about. Like, but
yeah. Yep.
the most important part is you're here, you're playing, and you're doing your best in each match, and that's all you can ask for. I feel like that's why like anybody that talks online now, it just doesn't even matter to me when people talk online, because it's like, have you ever shown up to a LAN? Like, go to a LAN event and then like talk your shit, but like you go to LAN and you're just not going to be a nasty person online anymore, it feels like. Not like I don't get
Yeah,
frustrated, but everybody gets frustrated in pugs. All bets are off in those. But
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, no, to clarify, actually, it was weird. Like, I used to be, I'll admit it to it because I'm not afraid of it. When I was younger, I was really, really toxic. I would be like, you guys suck, well, wow, this stuff. I'd get like banned from chat, all this crap.
we all were.
And, and then I went to my first LAN back in like whenever Frag New Brunswick was. I think I was like 21 or something like that. And I yelled on LAN. It was great. Got like a 1v4, all that crap. Like great first LAN experience. I opened a stat track red on LAN. The guy next to me on my team opened a knife. It was nuts. As my first LAN experience. But after that, out of nowhere, I was like, I don't care enough to be toxic, if that makes sense. Like obviously I want to win. But at this point, I'm like, yeah, you could type something to be rude, but I enjoyed making the connections with people so much at LAN that now I want to be able to make those connections elsewhere. So why should I be toxic and pissy to every single person around me or mad when somebody makes a mistake? Because it's the way I made those mistakes. My teammates on LAN were forgiving if I made a mistake. Why won't I be forgiving to my teammates in a pug? Because that made me play better. When people were pissed off, that made me play worse because I was stressed for the rest of the game. So it was like all these like minor conclusions made after playing a LAN that I feel everybody goes through. And anybody that I meet that I have seen at one of these frags are so incredibly nice in pugs. Like, sure, whatever. They can get pissed. They can be like, these guys suck, blah, blah. Actually, I won't spit names, but there's one guy that I got to do a pug with. It was in the finals of one of the frags. And that did not seem to happen for him. Let's just put it that way. um, but other than that exception, everybody's so nice. Like, I love the community, and I feel like that drive for community and understanding of the existence of it is what gets people to actually be better in the online scene, not just in person.
Well, and yeah, dude, and I think that I think one of the things that you realize too when you go to LAN is you like when you watch professional Counter Strike, Tier One Counter Strike, the
Mm.
big events, you hear about like how North America has nobody or whatever, and you go and you play online, and yeah, you run into some of the same people on a frequent basis, especially the higher elos that you go, but you're like, well, there seems like a big pool of players out here, but then you go to LAN and you realize that like Frag is the only one putting on any kind of like practice for the state,
Yeah.
like the kind of tier one Counter Strike we're watching there, and you
Yep.
realize how small North American Counter Strike really is, and that there's not really any room to be a nasty dickhead to anybody there,
Exactly.
because anybody
Exactly.
participating in this thing is like, thank fucking God, let's go. You're
Yeah.
here. Nice.
Yeah. That's like that totally adds up because if you're a nasty piece of shit, even if you're above average, but you're a nasty piece of shit, you're not making it anywhere. Like there are those players, and obviously I'm not here to talk bad about anybody, so I won't say names, but there are those
Yeah,
players that
we're not here to
showed up,
name names, but
and that's we're not doing that. But there are those players that showed up, and they played really well, but they left a really sour taste in everybody's mouth afterwards. It was like, did you enjoy playing against? Like, okay, I lose games, and I go, no, I enjoyed playing against those people. Right? It was fun. They talked crap. They came up, said great game, whatever. Talked a little bit, had an amazing time. Can't complain. But when, like, I'll give an example. When you beat somebody and they walk up to you and start explaining every single thing that you did wrong that game after you beat them, by the way, may I add, 13-5 and 13-3, and they came up and explained all of our mistakes. I stared them down. I was like, I never want to see you again. Like, this is, please go away. Like, this is crazy. I wanted to walk up and say GG and, like, you had a nice 1D and all that crap. Come on, man. Like, there's some people don't get the social cues. I don't know.
Yeah. And not that everybody should be perfect at being social at LAN. I know that it's kind of stressful for some people,
No.
but like it seems especially in the Counter-Strike community though, like you go to like other gaming conventions. Like I was just at a Star Wars gaming
Oh, that's
trading card
sick.
game
Yeah.
convention.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I those are my people because they're all nerds that love something, right? But like the Counter-Strike community is weirdly like social butterflies. Like I don't meet many people in the Counter-Strike community that are like antisocial people that don't enjoy like the vibes of like large groups of people or whatever.
Yeah.
You go to a tier 1 event like an IEM even and like everybody mainly cuz everybody's freaking hammered, but everybody
Yeah.
wants to yap with
That's
each
fair,
other,
man.
right? Like whereas like you go to some of these other conventions and like maybe it's cuz I'm not into their thing, but there's a lot more people that are a little more closed off or like, not picking up on those social cues. So, there's exceptions in the Counter-Strike community, but yeah,
Uh,
dude, be
it-
able to go up to people and say good game at the end of a game no matter
yeah,
what.
man. Yeah. I think it's probably because, like, Counter Strike in general is a really communicative game. Like, you have games, and it's also, like, I thought about this at one point. Like, why are people genuinely so sociable? Because when I was younger, I was like, they're humans, right? I was making the joke of, like, we have humans here that actually play. But then I thought about it, it's like, you can argue, like, Call of Duty, right? It's a shooter with comms, but it's way
I've
too
heard of
fast
that.
paced to talk about anything else most of the time, especially in Iowa play. In Counter Strike, I'm at a level 10 pug, and there's some dude talking about Gorlock the Destroyer round 5, and we're still winning the round, right? So we have all of these situations in which you talk, you converse, you're used to talking to people, you're used to having to give information quickly, all those kinds of things. So I guess over time that bleeds into real life a bit. People become more sociable. They're less afraid to interact with somebody they haven't met before because they do it on a daily basis. Maybe there's no face in the game, but if that's the only difference realistically, then it probably isn't that much of a deterrent for everyone. So I mean, that's probably why Counter-Strike people talk so much. That was what I was thinking, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
dude.
Thoughts?
I mean, yeah, most people in Counter-Strike that I know are like, it should be a bannable offense to like queue up a game without a mic, right?
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
agree.
that's
Oh
that's
my
how most
God.
people in Counter-Strike feel.
There's,
And
there,
like I talked to a friend even yesterday, like I feel like Counter-Strike among like WoW and plenty of other games, but
oh my
like
God, I love WoW.
Counter-Strike, yeah, I've recently learned was reading some of your notes about it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
played
uh,
since I was 4.
since
4 years
what?
old.
Since you were
Since I was
four?
4 years
Good.
old, I played
That's
WoW. Yeah.
20 years, boys and girls. That's
I'm
that's
old, guys.
that's crazy. No, but like Counter Strike was one of those games that helped put like VoIP programs on the map, like
Hmm.
TeamSpeak and Ventrilo and Mumble and all those things from back in the day, right? Like
Yeah.
we wouldn't have Discord without it. That's why I think League of Legends is one of the most toxic places of all time, is because you're playing a quick-paced, competitive team-based video game and you can't communicate with your voice to the guy next to you on the map.
Yeah. You can only
Like
ping.
it's
You can click your button and hope that they understand your 15 iterations of sign language to mean exactly what you want it to mean.
right. It's wild, dude.
No, I
Oh,
played League actually for a while. This is the only thing I'll say about League. Um, this is it genuinely the most toxic game I've ever played. Counter-Strike cannot compare. The amount of times that I have seen, and by the way, the regulation system is insane. Like you say any word that is remotely offensive, instantly banned. People do not care. They will damn your family to hell 100 times during the game, add you afterwards, keep telling you in chat until their account is banned. Like I don't understand what fuels these people, but it's just different.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
dude, it reminds me of, I used to play UFC Undisputed 2009 on the
Okay.
Xbox 360 back in, you guessed it, 2009. Um, and I played, like, I dominated on that game, and I played online, and I was
Mm.
an angry little 19-year-old, and that was like the thing you did. That's the thing everybody did, was like add their opponent just to talk shit on Xbox
Yep.
messaging after
Yep.
you whooped their ass. But like, I
You
don't
were
know, dude.
horrible. You sucked. I hated you. You were bad.
Exactly. Like, where did you learn to play the game type of shit? Like, you know, it was it was a different time back then, but yeah, League of Legends seems to be holding that tradition up really well. Leave it in Call of Duty. Leave that nastiness in Call of Duty. Call of Duty is
Yeah.
where it's meant to live. That's where we all know it exists,
Yeah,
and it can just stay there.
we want our cute little CS community with people that speak as if they're either on stimulants or on another planet. There's no in between. My point.
Yeah,
There's never an in between. You either get the guy who goes, "Hey, yo guys, I'm going B," or you get the one who goes, "I'm gonna go outside. Can somebody smoke the garage, please? I'm gonna go swing red." That's me. Every game.
I'm the other one.
People ask me if I'm on Adderall every single pug I play. They're like, "Yo, how much Adderall did you take today?" I like woke up 10 minutes ago, popped into a bug. Apparently, I talk too fast. I don't know.
No, Tiski's just a man with energy. No, that's good. Don't give up on that energy. Well,
Never, man.
let's learn let's learn more about the Tiski story here, because
Okay.
we've yapped a lot about LAN, and I told you I was going to be conversational, but I do a lot of yapping. Momo, are you coming up here? I think the cat wants to
Momo?
make an appearance here.
Oh my God, is Momo gonna ask an interview question about the Tiski career?
Yeah,
Momo, Momo thoughts?
Momo, thoughts here?
What does chat think, Momo?
Yeah, Momo wants to know what your. Well, he wants to know what that
That's
microphone feels like.
adorable. That's adorable.
He's a good
Okay.
kitty.
So
Momo, I want to hear. Me and Momo want to hear, and the people. Don't forget the people. We want to hear about how you like. What are your earliest memories of video gaming? And it sounds like they start early with WoW at 4, and maybe
Yeah.
even before that. But what are your earliest memories of gaming, and how did you land on Counter-Strike?
So, if I tell the full story, we'll be here for like 5 hours. So I'll cut some bits and pieces out. But I started
Okay.
playing World of Warcraft with my dad in the basement of our old house, and that was like the way I would kind of bond with him, because it's like he always had work, and then mom was always at work, all those kinds of things. So I was able to go downstairs. I was able to play World of Warcraft with my dad. Now over time, I think I played for like 4 or 5 years just in the basement, and then I got my own computer. And like every single kid, played Minecraft, played Roblox, all that BS. Then at one point, my friends in like 3rd grade, they're like, "Matt, we want to get League of Legends." I was like, "Okay, sure." And then I kept playing after they'd quit. I had like Grandmaster or something. And then I was a toxic child, so that account got banned. So I only have like one League account, and it's just like the one that I would buy all my stuff on because I was always super careful on it. Then after that, actually right when Counter-Strike released, that same group of friends were like, "Yo, this game just came out. Let's play this." So I was like, "Okay, sure." I got Counter-Strike, and
CS:GO?
Yeah, CS:GO back in 2012. Or whenever it
Counter-Strike
came out,
had just
2011, yeah.
released.
Yeah, I'm an old head, dude. So I was playing, and I actually was really, really good. I played advanced in ESEA back when I was like 16 or 17. And no, 16, because I quit for like 2 years. And yeah, then at a certain point, just like I was competitively dancing also at the time, and I had the option of either maintaining my CS career or being the representative of the US for ballroom dance. And I was like, all right, that's an easy fucking option. I'm going to be the representative of the US. So I kind of prioritized dance for a bit. We did insanely well. I actually have that. I don't know if you can see it. There's a vase over there. This goddamn vase is the world championship trophy. It is literally a vase with just a logo etched into it. That's what you get for winning the fucking world championships.
You won the world championships
Yeah.
with ballroom dance?
Yeah, if you Google my if you copy paste my name from HLTV, you won't get CS pictures. You will get pictures of me in a tail suit.
I need to go. Well, I'm gonna need to go watch this.
So,
Do you still dance?
so no, right now I teach. This is the guy. Look at this fucking vase, Big D. Look at this thing.
That is
I beat
insane.
like 100 something people that gave me a fucking vase to put flowers in.
I traveled the world and am the best in the world, and they gave me a vase.
A vase, dude. It's like my condolences. Here, put a rose in here, dude.
Wow, dude, that's I mean that's sick as hell though.
So when uni came, because like that was always the goal. It was education, right? It's like I could be a CS pro, but then things could just not go well. I could just not play well for a year, and then I'm screwed, right? I could be a professional dancer, but then God forbid I don't know, fracture my toe. I'm out of commission. So the safe option was brain, right? You always have that. So get the education. Once college came, and that was during my break from CS, I take a look and I'm like, holy crap, Rutgers has a Counter-Strike team? What is this? So I try out for this Counter-Strike team, and this was a little bit like fucked and like not intended fucked at all. I contacted one of the guys who's playing on it, and there was this player, some people will know this name, Aleph. He actually played for the Rutgers team. We kicked his ass. You can go make fun of him for that. Don't. That's a joke. We laugh about it all the time. With him, to clarify. Yeah, he just didn't have time. That was like the main reason. So that guy that I contacted was playing on the Rutgers team. And I was like, yo, are there tryouts? He's like, dude, tryouts are in September, but if we need a sub for a scrim, I'll let you know. I was like, okay, cool. They need a sub for a scrim. I hop in. I play this scrim. I hit the most ridiculous op flick shots the whole game, to the point where like, the whole team's like, dude, do you want me to clip that? That was great. Like all this BS. And the next day, now bear in mind, tryouts were over 4.5 months ago. The next day, I get a message saying that the guy who I contacted, who was playing on the team, is removed and I'm playing in place of him. And I was like, that is so screwed up. You mean to tell me you kicked the guy who got me onto the team? That's so screwed up. So then I played Rutgers CS for a while. And I mean, I think everybody in Rutgers CS knows my name because I was like the president of the club, and then I was the vice president of the club. I went to LANs, I IGL'd the team, I coached the team, all that stuff. So I mean, I really built that stuff up from the floor. Now Rutgers has a really, really good CS team. We got, what was it, 3rd in North America last year? I got a funny little medal for it somewhere. And after that, I was like, all right, I want to play like Open again. I want to see what it's like, right? So played like a few seasons of Open with like the Rutgers guys. Obviously, it was like level 6s, 7s, all that. And then at one point, I meet like a couple pretty good players at Rutgers because I was doing a little more outsourcing, found some good guys. And we make IM, we make main, and then that team kind of just like, don't have time, whatever. And at a certain point, and this is while I'm still at Rutgers, this was my last year at Rutgers, I was like, okay, I want to play on an actual like league roster, right? And this was after the New Brunswick LAN, where we also got a bunch of Rutgers guys and all that stuff. And I formed Digba. I was like, okay, it was either the option of playing with this guy in Maine who I don't know, or I make my own team, which I've done all the time. I've IGL'd all my teams for like 5 years straight. I was IGL. I was actually op IGL for like 5 years. And the Enigma team was literally a Rutgers player, a graduated Rutgers player, a graduated Rutgers player, a buddy that I played with in Kansas City. I went to not the Frag 18, I went to the KC Frag that happened before that. Then there was the guy on my mouse pad, dude. It was
that mouse pad.
Dude, this is the great mouse pad, man. Yeah, hold on. I can make this funny. I got it.
Who was that guy? What's his name? That is an amazing angle.
Yeah, his in-game is GAT, G-A-T. He's like relatively retired, but he coached for us for a while. And so that was the team. We instantly made it out of Open, instantly made it out of IM. During the IM period, we picked up Galaxy. And the team is, dude, Okay, you ready for this? This is the team lineup right now. Tiski, Pinhead Larry, and then Galact, Galaxy, and Galaxy.
Wow.
It's, dude,
That's not
casters
confusing
hate
at
it.
all.
Casters hate it. They're looking at, they're like, Glixie, and then we like, no, he hates that. And then they look at us like, what do we say? Like blue and green? Like they're not gonna know what the hell we're talking about.
It's Galaxy Blue and Galaxy
Galaxy
Green.
green, man.
I don't think casters see the colors though when they're
Yeah.
in spectator.
So it's just scuffed. So
It's scuffed, dude.
We have casters for Enigma, and we just told them the next time they cast, just call them all Gal. It's gonna be Gal, Gal, and Gal. It's like Gal outside, Gal in, or Gal ramp. Yeah. So yeah, we got 3 Gals. We're 2 more, and we have an impact roster. We got this. 3 Gals.
You do.
Yeah,
3
close.
gals. That's funny.
Psh. No, the impact scene is insane, by the way, because I never really touched it. I know I'm deviated type. I never really touched the impact scene before because I never really competed against them, right? Didn't know the players. And then after all these lands, I was like, Jesus, these people are crazy. Like, I heard a lot of people talking bad about them. They're like, oh, they're bad, mediocre. Like, Mira, I just played Windsor with Mira. Fry cook, SpongeBob SquarePants in the kitchen, like, ripping people to shreds. But, yeah, back to the main thing. After
You
we made
have
that
to
Enigma
you have to
roster-
wonder where some of these players would be if they didn't where their stats would be online in some of these pugs if they didn't have like an immediate like toxic reaction from like members of the community. You know what I mean?
They're
Like
insane. Like I pug with
Oh,
Mira
yeah.
anytime Mira wants to pug. Like that is the freest carry in the world. Like
and supernova
nuts.
comets, all five of them can just they would blow me out of the water for sure. Like they're monsters.
I don't want to say I'm like very, very close with them, but like we're definitely on easy talking terms. I could come up and talk to any of them, like that kind of thing. Because we played a lot at LAN, and like good, like we come into this game, and there's somebody on my team during this is I don't a while ago, and they're like, oh, impact roster, this is gonna be easy. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know who these people are. At this point, I've never played against them. Right, this is the first time. I was like, oh, okay. They're saying it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easy. 0 to 9, we're getting shit on. I was like, guys, this is not easy. Like, what are you? You guys are tweakers. You guys are tweakers. So every single time I've versed them since then, I was like, all right, like I'm full sweat. Like I'm trying fully, and it's always a great game. Like always really close matches whenever we play them. Like Vegas, even though it was 2-0, it was 13-11, 13-11. At this Windsor LAN, it was like 13-10, 13-10 or something. Like really, really close games. So back to the topic.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there.
No. I deviated. You're good. I brought up the impact topic. So we at one point need like a sub for lands because 4 of us, sorry, at that point 3 of us live in Jersey, 2 of us don't. So we need 2 subs at all times. So we're like, okay, we want to pick up somebody for land. And there's this guy Galaxy who's playing on a different guy's team. We're like, this guy, let's see. So we get him, we play with him. It's good. We're like, hey, do you want to sub for our league team? He's like, sure. And I was like, dude, realistically, if you want to stay, I guarantee you probably play like almost every game of the season because we always need a sub. This is when our schedules are more spotty. I was still in school. Some of us had crazy work schedules, all that. He plays every single game that season. So that works out. And then we swap. I was IGLing the whole time. And we swap because one of our players goes like, yo, Matt, your aim is like really, really good. Why don't you just like entry? Focus on your aim. And then that season, I think I had like 111 ADR in main or something. It was ridiculous. So we didn't make it out of main. I don't want to say who, but somebody had to pick up their girlfriend during 2 of our league matches. In the middle of them, he goes, call a timeout. I'll be back. That leaves his house.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we were
no.
49th out of the top 48 that would make it to playoffs. But whatever, I'm not stressing over it. So, yeah, and then since that point, we've kind of just been going to every single Rowan together. We've been playing the league matches. We've been signing up for qualities, tourneys, things like that. And I say this to my teammates all the time. I say this to like anybody who asks me. If it weren't for the league scene and the LAN scene, I would not be playing Counter-Strike. It's not because I don't love the game. It's because I like a sense of reason towards what I do. And if I were sitting at home and pugging and doing nothing else, right? Like I'm a pugger. I wouldn't see the reason behind that. But I have amazing friends. I have a great community and I love my teammates to death. Like every single one of them I've been friends with them for I don't even know how long. Like the newest person is David Galaxy, fully spelled out the new Galaxy. That one. He's the newest person of the team, and still we have a great time anytime we hang out. We like get together and do poker nights at Pinhead Larry's place. We would like say like, all right, let's go get some food, right? Like stuff like that, because everybody lives close. Everyone's in Jersey, and
Joyzy.
yeah, I mean, Joyzy. We got that Joyzy people. So currently, the only person that doesn't live in Jersey is our opper. So like whenever we play Rowan, it's actually pretty cool because we have 4 of the main roster and then just an op sub. So yeah, this run's gonna be interesting because we are grabbing a 5th, and I have no idea. They've been talking about some guy that I've never met in my life with a really Russian name, and they're like, this guy. He's subbed for our league match. He's playing Rowan with us. I was like, okay, like I don't mind, but like we have no confirmation. It's been 2 weeks. So, like, what's happening? Yeah, but I'll make sure to shout you out at Rowan. I'll be like, that round was for Big D. That was for him.
There we go, baby. Big D. Yeah, we're breaking through, baby. I like that. Well, dude, yeah, Counter-Strike just has such a rich history to it, and we all love this thing so very, very much. It's not like there's no short version of how we got started playing this game, right? Like it's ingrained in us from the beginning. What are your goals? You were best in the world at Ballroom Dance, and now you're working on best in the world at Counter-Strike, or what?
Dude, I'm doing so much crap, honestly. Like I don't like streamlining in one specific direction and only streamlining in that because I feel like I'm too reliant on that one thing. So like for instance, I'm playing Counter-Strike right now, and like my goal isn't to be the best in the world, it's to be the best in the server every time. So that could mean I'm maybe a worse player. But if I kill you and win every single time I play you, then I don't care if I'm a worse player. You know? Like that's kind of my logic. So yeah, I want to finally get back to advance this season. I have like I don't want to jinx anything, so knock on wood, but I have virtually no doubts in my mind that we make advanced. And other than that, I mean, like, yeah, play lands. I want to get more stats on my HLTV. Just like some really baseline things. But I don't really like setting big, large goals for myself when it comes to CS because then it gives me something to be disappointed about if I don't reach them, if that makes sense. So that's why my goal simply is to come, play my best, and I don't know, I guess leave a lasting impression to an extent. It works, you know? If I yell loud enough, they have to hear me through the headphones. But other than that, I'm producing music right now also. Still teaching dance on the side. I did like video editing for a bit just so I know how to do it. What else? Gym, big, strong, you know. just making sure I have a bunch of stuff on the plate at all times. I don't like having too much free time, which sounds pretty crazy, but I feel like that just leads to me, at least for me as a person. I get lazy if I have too much free time.
Dude, tell me about it, baby. Oh my God, that's part of why we're trying to do more stuff within the Counter-Strike scene. It's just so I'm not so lazy. Because yeah, you right, being lazy. That you know, idle hands are the devil's playthings, as they say.
That's exactly.
And you don't have to be religious to understand what that phrase means.
I got you.
Just
I went to Catholic school for 4 years, man. Don't worry.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not even Catholic. It was a
So
fiasco.
you're Catholic and from Jersey.
So no, I'm not Catholic. I went to a Catholic school. My father's side is Jewish, and I was baptized Russian Orthodox, and I'm like non-religious personally.
And how do you feel about The Sopranos?
You mean God? No, I'm kidding. I'm so joking. No, it's a great show, honestly. Great show. I've only watched about 1.5 episodes of clips worth, but that's about it.
Okay, so you've never seen it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. About 80% of shows that you name, I'm probably gonna say I haven't seen them. I'm more into like this stuff, like all the anime crap, dude.
You're
20-minute episodes 1 time a week. I don't need a lot of time to watch that, you know?
Yeah, but then you have to watch 800 of them to get caught up on all the lore.
I avoid those shitty shows. The only one I've watched like that is Black Clover, only because I was watching it as it was airing. But if you put a gun to my head and tell me to watch One Piece, I will pull your trigger for you. There's no way I'm doing it.
I watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That was a good one.
Great. Tier 1, dude. Amazing.
That's one of the only animes I've watched, but oh man, I did find out we're gonna wrap this up here pretty quickly here, Mr. Tiski, but I did find out I have a bunch of Pokemon cards from when they first came out hidden away that have been sealed for the last 30 years. So
wait, dude, that's money.
Dude. It might be. I might have an original Mewtwo lurking around in there somewhere.
Ask Bonamon. He knows. I know he knows stuff about the Pokemon cards. You can ask him for sure.
I will talk to him. Right. So you're not ready to drop 30 grand on a Mewtwo?
Oh, let me check. Hold on, I got you. I might be pocket.
Hold up.
I can't, dude. I barely have enough for my fucking gas money to Philly.
Dude, I feel that. Well, okay, I got 2 last questions here. I got 3 last questions actually for you. One, we've talked a lot about how important it is to get to LAN. But like, from your perspective of somebody who goes to LAN regularly, what do you think is missing from the North American Counter-Strike scene that like we need to like get ourselves back online to that tier 1 performance?
Okay, let me think for a moment. So are you saying player-wise or production-wise?
More player-wise, like as far as like getting a team that's competitive enough to like make a run at these tournaments again. Because NACS, like we have M80, we have Wildcard, we have some of these name complexity, right? That are like contenders and playing in the tier 1 tournaments, but they're not like winning anything, right? Yeah. Like. What do we, and it's been kind of stagnant for a while, right? Too, like we've had Lake Jaba or JBA, however he says it. I feel like that switches every few months, but
whatever he feels.
Well, yeah, we've got like Hackst. We've got these like players getting picked up and starting, but like what do you think is missing in the like region for us to get competitive to where we're winning tier 1 tournaments again?
I'm gonna be honest, I think people just don't, like, not in an insulting way, but people just don't think enough. Like the players that you mentioned, like JBA and Lake, both of them were picked up, and what they were known for is being insane aim-wise, right? They will always hit their shots. They obviously still make the right plays. I'm not saying they're stupid in any way. But when you compare it to let's think of a good NA pro that did this. Nafly. Not right now. Nafly's... but
not
when
current Nafly.
He was the player that did the right thing all the time. The correct position, was always where he needed to be, that kind of thing. We don't have a lot of players like that in the US. The thing is, in EU, there's obviously the mutants, right? You have Kyosuke, you have Monasi, you have, what's his name, the new guy on Navi. Doesn't matter. That guy. They all have insane aim, but in addition to that insane aim, they have ridiculous mechanics and really, really good game sense. Because that great aim comes with being able to assume the swing right? Or holding the correct pre-aim because they're not going to jiggle, they're going to wide swing. A lot of people in the US practice a lot of aim, they don't practice enough theory when it comes to CS. And CS is a game where you do have to think a lot. And I know that from playing IGL for 5 years, where there's certain situations where I'm sitting there, I'm in like a 3K lobby, and somebody calls something, I was like, there's no way you think this is a good idea. Like, B is clear. And then I'd go watch the demo, and yeah, B is completely clear. And I feel like the issue right now with NACS is everyone is too reliant on like, okay, this is the textbook best angle position. Okay, the enemy team knows it's a textbook best angle position, so they're going to play against it, right? And then they're like, no, but our aim is better, so we're going to win. But that's a gamble, because let's say in that instance, their aim is better, because you can't just flat out always be better than somebody. And I think that's the primary assumption is we're always going to be better at this one thing than the enemy, so we're going to abuse that. Meanwhile, EU says
we need to be better as a team. We don't care about this one person being better. So there's too many carries that happen in NA. There's not enough like interplay team-wise that I see in comparison to a lot of the EU rosters. And you can even argue that there's certain games like when what's his name? Oh my god. Crepo, when he played on Fisher. He was single-handedly pulling 3 players on Anubis B site every single round. But that also came with the team play because everyone enabled him, right? There was like a smoke here, a flash there. So because of that, they had to rotate their 3 B players. I think the biggest change that needs to happen is more thinking, in a simple term. A lot more thinking, less aiming, if that makes sense. The aim is obviously still important. If you whiff a shot, go to Imprac, get it better. But there's just not enough thought processing going into what's happening in the positions and the pre-planning towards matches. I think that's the big issue.
I think that's really well said, and I think that's I second that. I think that NA gets too focused on its like here's how it should go, and they run the like play in their head, and they're like, well, this is where I'm gonna win and this is gonna happen, rather than like consistently focusing on fundamentals of communication, trading, and map control.
Yes.
And if you can if you actually like focus on those 3 things and like work as a hive mind, like I really feel like more teams would start like putting the screws to like we'd just have more of a talent pool to draw from. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because great performances are great and everything, but like individual performances aren't a reliable source of winning games, and we're especially seeing that in tier 1 right now, right? Like there's so many teams that think they're going to rely on somebody going off, and it's not happening.
It's really I feel like it hinders the progression quite a bit. Because, for instance, if every single person is practicing aim, then there's no way for somebody to deviate and be better at something else than everybody else. So if you have like a mass collective, and I think this is also why there's a lack of talent, because if you have a mass collective of people who are strictly practicing aim, then there's no way for you to stand out, be different, or anything like that of somebody who is even a fraction better than you at aiming. Because if that ends up happening, then okay, all this other talent that, you know what, maybe their aim is actually really good. Like from an average perspective, they might have incredible aim. But then you have all these people who are top tier who have really, really, really good aim. And that is why we have so little in the top scene. Because everyone is competing with aim. Meanwhile, in EU, you have people competing with aim, people competing with playstyle, people competing with, strategy, people competing with util, anything like that. Here, it's just, okay, I won the aim duel, right? That's what everyone says. I won the aim duel. I learned 5 default smokes. Cool. You're no different than anybody else, you know?
Tiski laying it down for the people. That's what we do here on Laying It Down. All right, dude. Well, I got one last question before the big one.
Yeah.
What does your name Tiski mean?
Oh, okay.
Where'd you come up with that?
So, okay, real story, no fucking idea, dude. I don't remember at all. But, apparently, and this is what I tell everybody, Tiski, first of all, the word for boobs in Russian is siski, so everybody who's a Russian that gets into my game is like, dude, you messed up one of the letters. You're so stupid. And I was like, no, I didn't. There's an actual word in Russian called tisok. It's like a vice grip. Tiski is the plural. So if you say v tiskach, which means inside of a vice grip, that's an idiomatic expression meaning like you're screwed, right? Like I'm in a tight squeeze, like a tight spot. Sorry, right? I'm in a tight spot. That's basically what that means. So tiskach also in slang terms is you're fucked. So I made my name Tiski, which is what I tell everyone. But the reality of it is, no idea, no clue. I got lucky. No clue what Tiski is.
All right. Well, it's got a story at least. All right, dude. This is the big question, and you better answer it right.
Okay.
There is no right or wrong answer. It is so you could give advice to the younger like if you could talk to a younger version of yourself, like half your age,
Yeah.
what's some advice you would give them? It could be Counter-Strike related or life
Buy
or
Bitcoin.
ballroom, huh?
Buy
Buy
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Yeah,
Sorry.
that is good advice. That
No, on a
for
serious note,
12 years ago. But yeah, what's some it can what would you say to the younger generation out there?
I mean, okay, if it were to me, for the ballroom stuff, I do everything as I did, all that stuff. For life, I would say, oh, don't fuck up the first semester of college. I took that way too lightly. Bounced back really well afterwards, but Jesus Lord, we don't talk about that first semester. And when it comes to Counter-Strike, I would just say to not take my break. I could have balanced it easily, and I could have, like, easily already been top advanced, probably ECL at that point. If I was advanced, what was that, 8 years ago? Right? I think I would have been good after 8 years of advanced. But yeah, just not to take my break, to keep playing, I guess, and to actually think. I don't have any conscious thoughts about Counter-Strike from before I was like 20. I think I literally just like played the game and went, ooh, person, click. And that was it. That was like my entire thought process. I knew like 5 smokes, just like shot everyone. That was how I played when I was younger. Just to think, because it would have progressed me a lot further. But for the younger generation of CS players, because I'm assuming that's people who are probably going to watch this one, I'd say, be better than the people around you. Because yes, it's easy to be a bad person, but it's hard to be a good person. And don't you want to be cooler than everybody else and do the thing that's harder? Right? But no, on a serious note, you make connections with people, you can grow, because if somebody sees you being a good person, it's a much higher likelihood that they're going to be a good person to you back. You might make a mistake, they'll give you the answer as to what the correct move was without yelling at you the entire time. And be accepting of criticism. Everyone will always have something that is better about them than you. That's normal. In life, that's normal. One major aspect of life that translates into CS, I read a book, actually. It was Wabi Sabi, Korean philosophy. And basically, it's perfection and imperfection. And your imperfections are what's going to make you stand out as a person. So don't be too afraid of doing something and somebody says that's wrong, but it works. That means it worked for you, right? If something works, as long as it wasn't absolutely numbskull crap, like running out with your knife outside, then into mini, and then running behind Marshmallow with your knife, and he just doesn't hear you, and you knife him, that's not a good play. You just had God literally cup you the whole way through outside. But in a shorter form, be receptive, think, and be a good person. That's like the only stuff that I could really say.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Well, and I think you embody all of those things. Just getting to be around you at LAN a few weeks ago, listening to you talk your shit, but still be one of the nicest guys at LAN. Like that's
I
what you
appreciate you, man. Thank you.
you got to find that duality when you're a competitive person. Take care of yourself.
No,
All
for
right.
sure.
Well,
I agree.
thanks for sharing that, Tiski, Matt. And why don't you get, just like Hot Ones, this camera, this camera, this camera. Why don't you take a look and see tell the people what you got going on, where they can find
All
you.
right. You could find me on Twitter at Tiski CS. It's probably gonna be Tiski_CS. I have like 2 Twitter accounts that I didn't know about. It's Tiski. Okay, Tiski_CS on Twitter. On Twitch, it's Tiski with a 1 instead of the first I, so it's twitch.tv/T1SKI. And Enigma, where we got the org Twitter, the Enigma CS. Find us on there. We just got casters, so every single one of our games are going to be casted. They're, let me put it this way. There's some funny little moments. We may or may not have killed 3 people on our team in the same exact round and still won the round. Shenanigans, guys. Please, if you want an entertaining match, please feel free to come watch.
Hell yeah. Who's casting for you guys?
So we have 2 guys that normally don't cast. It's players from the University of Rhode Island. And I'll tell you right now their names. So, okay, one of them is Aiden. The other one's tag is AZ19999. Their Twitter handles are @hads_lepet, spelled Leppet, and then @AidenPhilip11, so AIDANPHILIP11. And they're just, one day I was like, hey, who wants to shitcast our match? And they're like, we'll do it. I was like, all right, I'll send you $10. And they casted it, and it was actually quality, like genuinely good. I was like, all right, cool. You guys want to cast for your Enigma? Like, this is nice. And they're like, yeah, we'd love to. So that ended up happening. And then, you know, I'll shout out the boys. We got Galact, just Galact CS. Then we got Galaxy, which is, believe it or not, GLXYCS. And then we also have the other Galaxy. That one, he did something convoluted. Oh, it's Galaxy XI. There you go.
Okay.
We got Pinhead Larry, which is, yeah, self-explanatory, I think, Pinhead Larry. It's just the only one. That's all the guys. That's everyone I got.
Hell yeah. All right. Matt, thanks for joining us. Thank you all for watching. And that is it. That's a powerful return to laying it down, I believe.
I'm glad we were able to deliver, man.